This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Yo, everybody. What is up? Kaplan and Crew. With just the crew once again today. Alex Padilla, John Browner, and the man out the bullpen, our closer, our all-star closer, Jason Lawhead, in today as well. We are brought to you by the 7 Mile Casino. 7 Mile Casino, just minutes away from downtown San Diego, with all of your favorite table games. And now, not really and now, it's been there for a while, but Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, a full bar. You get yourself a Browner Espresso Martini. I think if you ask for the Browner, they'll probably just bring that out to you now. I think that's how popular he's made that drink. 7milecasino.com, just minutes away from downtown San Diego. Remember, if you have any problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER. This week is going to look a little different this week. Scott is in tomorrow and Wednesday. We're not sure about Thursday and Friday, but the three of us will be in those 3 days if he's not. But we're here today, and what an exciting day it was yesterday for Padres and the Friar faithful. Before we get to the big news of the day, checking in with the fellas. Boys, how we doing today on a Monday, on a cold-ass Monday?
We out here for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, so much for deadlines, but
told you.
Other than that, I mean,
but before we get there,
yeah. I saw Cocaine Bear.
Did you?
Very nice.
Yes, I got to tell y'all, man, Cocaine Bear, great movie. Okay,
I've been hearing.
If you go to the movie, understanding you're gonna see a bear do cocaine and get wild, you're gonna have a great time at the movies. If you go there looking for some cinematic pleasure, you're gonna be disappointed. But if you go there to see a bear do cocaine and attack people, it's a fantastic movie.
And it's Ray Liotta's last movie,
which I was unaware of until the movie was over.
I'm glad you prefaced it like that too, because when you watch the trailer, that's all you want. When you go watch Jackass, you know what you're gonna get.
Correct.
So when I saw the trailer for Cocaine Bear, I was like, I really hope they don't do some silly deep thing. I really hope it's just stupid for an hour and a half.
Bro, they didn't try nothing. They gave this bear cocaine, winded him up, and let him attack people in the woods.
That makes me want to go watch it more, to be honest with you. The fact that it is what the trailer says it is, that is something that makes me want to go watch it more.
I like how much Browner liked the movie. And I'm going to see it based off of how much I like how much he likes the movie.
Because sometimes those movies run out of gas. Okay, the bears attacked 3 people. He on cocaine. Okay, let's get this over with. Nah, man. It kept going. And it kept getting better.
Bear cocaine and wind him up.
Man. Yo, bro,
Before
they gave that bear cocaine and he went off. He went for 40.
Dude, was this literally 90 minutes? It was 90 minutes, right? It couldn't be much longer than 90 minutes.
No, yeah. It's perfectly timed. It couldn't be longer. Right.
Yeah, the formula, 90 minutes, get out.
Cocaine Bear. Who else is in that movie? Ray Liotta's in that movie. Doesn't it have a really good cast?
It don't matter. The bear is the star. The bear is Denzel.
Can I ask you one?
You know who directed it?
Spoiler?
The director, I believe, is that really
Kerry
attractive.
Russell.
Kerry Russell's in it, but I don't think she directed it.
Elizabeth Banks directed.
Elizabeth Banks. Yeah, that really attractive blonde actress. I think she played Laura Bush in the Bush movie where Josh Brolin played W. She's been in a lot of stuff. She directed that movie. She heard about this story from the 80s or whenever it was. Was it the late 70s, the 80s when it
80s? It was
happened?
the 80s,
yeah. And,
great story.
Yeah,
great story.
So she made.
Can I ask you for one spoiler?
Yeah.
Does the bear ever talk?
No.
Okay, I was like, how silly is this thing gonna be?
No.
Yeah. Does the bear talk?
Does the bear learn to talk because it did cocaine?
So the best way to describe the movie in the most spoiler alert, not even gonna happen since the what? If you gave a bear a huge amount of cocaine,
like a bricks,
right?
Because bricks. So he was
because once he gets a taste of it, he needs more.
Oh, right.
What would a bear do? A angry cocaine fueled bear. What would he do? That's the movie. He doesn't do cartwheels. He doesn't like do nothing crazy.
He just
nothing
bear stuff.
Right, nothing bear-like. The bear goes full bear. It's
Full
great.
bear.
It was great.
Full cocaine
bear. Full 100% cocaine bear, man. I'm a fan. Now, I wouldn't go
There
see
you go.
like Cocaine Bear 2 because
Yeah.
what else can now that he's gonna be backflipping in the next movie.
Cocaine
So I wanna
Bear
see that.
2.
Sometimes I prefer those movies over like I saw Avatar and I told you how terrible it was, the second one. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, cinematically, was it cool? Sure.
Yeah.
For like 30 minutes, and then you're like, okay, but if the
Deliver.
story sucks and the delivery is awful, then you're bored. You're sitting there for 3.5 hours and you're bored. I much prefer I have never laughed louder than a Jackass 3 in the movies.
All the Jackass.
I have because it was a 3D. It was like the first 3D one they did too.
Oh no.
I've never laughed and been more disgusted in my life at a movie ever.
Jackass 1 broke me. I died laughing at that movie.
Yeah,
Man. That movie
like,
broke
so
me. That was a
sometimes
great
I prefer
movie.
like I know what I'm getting and I don't have to go
Yeah.
there and figure out if it's gonna be a good movie. Sometimes the silly and stupidness of it all is all you need. Just to turn the
Yeah,
brain
man.
off for 90 minutes and sit back and don't do
So
anything.
go see Cocaine Bear. Don't see Ant-Man. I went to see Ant-Man anticipating, excited, waiting to like be wowed, and I wasn't. I was floored with how terrible it was. Shout
Come
out
on,
to
let's be
Jonathan
real.
Majors. He was great.
It'll never stop, but Marvel probably could have stopped making movies after Endgame, but it's been a windy road ever since, you know. Some
Yeah,
good,
man.
some bad. But they were like Marvel, if for those that don't watch the Marvel movies, this studio put out banger after banger after banger after banger for a
About
legit
7
10
straight
years.
movies. About
Yeah,
7 straight movies. Yeah.
like they just didn't miss. And now that they've
Mhm.
had like a few mediocre ones, it's
Right.
very noticeable because they didn't have even that, you know, they just had nothing
Right.
but hits. So,
Right.
you know, they went from hitting 350 to hitting 275, which is respectable and good, but
Right.
we're expecting, you know,
Now they
350.
in Grisham territory. They're getting in Grisham
Right.
territory now.
Right. So Browner saw Cocaine Bear, and we all know what Jason was doing this weekend. And I've heard some people, some great friends, have made their way to the Comedy Store in La Jolla. Jay, how was your weekend?
It was great, man. It was a lot of fun. Steve Ranazizi, so funny. The headliner, great guy. We had a blast. Yeah, the shows were packed. I mean, he sold out up all of them. Up, you know, eventually Sunday night shows sold out, but the first 2 nights were basically sold out the morning of the show, of the Friday show. So, but yeah, a lot of fun, man. I mean, I always have a great time down there, and being part of that show with his crowd, you know, and his following. And man, he was just on fire. Watching him, I haven't seen him since pre-pandemic. He moved to New York City eventually with his family, but man, he was on fire.
Always interesting to see. Like, I don't know if Steve Ranazizi started off as a stand-up comedian and
Yes.
then got acting roles.
No, he started. He
Okay.
was doing stand-up. He had chops way before the league and any success before as acting. Yeah.
Sometimes I watch shows and then
Yeah.
like on TikTok, I'll see dudes that are like, oh, they do stand-up, but probably they did stand-up before they got shows. That makes
Yeah.
more sense, right? But
Well, more
it's always
guys are doing
interesting.
it the other way. The way you're saying it, that is a new breed of, yeah, you know, when something doesn't, you know, when something ends or whatever, you know, Jeremy Piven's a good example. There are, you know, Michael Rappaport. There's people that have gone, okay, let me go do
Yeah.
stand up, which I've never done, but you know, people will pay to see me and I can go into these cities and you know, and so
So
that
Browner,
kind
did
of
you get a
stuff.
scouting report from Jason's weekend? I heard.
Yeah, a friend of mine saw the Saturday show.
Which one?
And she liked it.
First or second?
The one that started at 9
Oh, okay.
o'clock
So the
after
second
9.
show. Second show.
Yeah, she had a good time. She said it was good. She they invited me, but I
Oh,
was
really?
like, wait,
Okay.
what happened? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
I don't
I
want
felt
to.
like that was a good show. The 9:30 for sure. Yeah. The
Yeah,
Friday night.
she enjoyed it
Yeah, yeah. Good. The Friday night.
because she's heard the show. She obviously she's a friend and she's my friend, so she
Uh-huh.
knows about the show. She's seen us on air,
Okay,
and so
right. Right.
she didn't know you were performing there.
Ah,
So
okay.
I started getting text messages. She said, "I think Jason's here," and I said, "Can you see him on the stage?"
Yeah.
And she said, "That is him." I said, "All right, just stop texting me,
Yeah.
you weirdo."
I think Jason's here. Is
Yeah.
Jason currently with a
Yeah.
microphone on stage? That would be a good
Right.
indicator whether if he's there or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when
Yeah.
they said
They
his name
coming to the
when they brought
stage.
him when they brought him up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even in my opening credits, which everybody was great at, all the MCs, when I said, he'll be headlining here May 24th. You may hear him on 1090 Sports Talk Radio in town, and then so I even had that. That was even my intro, and then
I wonder
ladies and
what gave it
gentlemen,
away.
welcome Jason Law.
I wonder what gave it away that you were there, Jason.
So
I think Jason's here.
that's funny.
Can
Yeah.
you see him?
What's the third?
What gave him
What's
away?
the third clue?
That's hilarious. One other thing that before we get into the Manny Machado Padres extension talk that's probably going to dominate this talk show today, I find it very interesting, very, very interesting, incredibly interesting that last week, Jason, we had a conversation about mustaches and how Peter Seidler's rocking a mustache right now. And on our merch shop, we got the sustainable shirt that did well this weekend because of what happened yesterday. And he's got this cowboy mustache, all the way across the upper lip.
Right.
And Browner said mustaches are stupid while sporting a mustache.
Yeah.
He had a mustache last week. And I find after him saying mustaches are stupid, that all of a sudden there's no mustache on John Browner.
Uh-oh.
It is there. It's there.
There's nothing there, my friend. There is nothing there. You shaved. You shaved.
Well, I told you I don't like it. I told you I don't like it. So therefore, whenever it gets noticeable, I just get rid of it. It's not a thing. It's not a statement. I don't think it's like, oh, it makes my face do X, Y, Z. It's just it's just
you don't think that
thing.
you got caught up by saying something stupid and not even realizing that you had it yourself, and then you got caught up and you're like, you know what? I should shave this thing because I said they're stupid.
No. I always
you forgot you had a mustache when you said mustaches are stupid.
See myself on the screen.
It felt like you forgot you had a mustache.
No, because I did in the moment when because you said you have one. Yeah, this one's dumb too.
Man, hoodies are. He's about to say, man, hoodies are stupid, dude. Anybody wears a hoodie is fucking.
Anybody buys the AirPod Maxes are dumb. And then you're like, wait,
what are you doing with that money?
Yeah,
they're just headphones.
Yeah. Well,
they're glorious, by the way. They're glorious. Go get some.
This is my transition into what happened yesterday. I wake up to the news from angry Dodger fans yesterday, at least on my end. It was, I believe, like 7:30 in the morning when the news broke. I wake up and my phone is just buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. So I finally get up. It's like 8 a.m. And it's upset Dodger fans that the Padres have basically found oil money, whatever you want to say. Like they have found a bottomless well of money, and they have now signed, after missing his deadline on February 16th, they have now extended Manny Machado to an 11-year, $350 million extension, bringing his grand total here in San Diego to 15 years, $470 million. There are bonuses there included that I believe puts him over $500 million in those 15 years. Manny Machado, deadline be damned, is going to be a Padre for a very, 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 very long time. Thoughts, dudes, on what the Padres have done, I guess, not only with Machado, but now we can bring this up. The Padres have now committed a lot of money to a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
These are the players, 6 players that are locked in for at least the next 5 years. Robert Suarez, 5 years, $46 million. Joe Musgrove, 5 years, $100 million. Yu Darvish, 6 years, $108 million. Xander Bogaerts, 11 years, $280 million. Manny Machado now, 11 years, $350 million. And of course, Tatis has the 14-year, $340 million. That is your core. Going forward, this is your core. These are the guys you must win a World Series with. You absolutely have to win a World Series within the next 5 years, because that's a lot of money that you just handed out. That's my thought.
I look at that and I go, congratulations. Again, I've had the back of this ownership. I've had the back of this front office for a while now. I think that this is the best possible outcome in so many ways, not just for the Padres, but for baseball. Because now, again, I want the sport to grow. Because again, the first time a lot of us have been to a sporting event, it's been a baseball game. There's a ton of them. The tickets are very accessible, and oftentimes on the right day they'd be very cheap, so you can take a large family. Poor people can go to them, et cetera, et cetera. These are oftentimes your first interaction with live professional sports. This is something that now no owner has an excuse as to why they can't sign guys. Period. End of story. I thought that the Padres paying Manny Machado, who deserved that money, I thought that this was a very classy move. They didn't try to play any games with him. The thing about the low ball offer, I think they just did that because that's what they had to do at that time. And after that, they gave him the offer that he was going to get anyway. Period. So I thought it was a class move by the organization. I thought it was smart on their behalf. And I think it's smart on his behalf to have, called the negotiations back on to take the deal. I thought it was very smart on both parties, man. Manny's a staple in that locker room. He's now become a staple in this organization. And it was very good to know that he'll still be around.
I think those reports that he wanted $40 million a year were total blasphemous. I told you guys from the beginning, this guy wants the same money. He just wants more years. That's all the dude wanted. He wanted the 30 to 32 million, what he was getting. Just lock him up. That's all he wanted. Like, I don't think that you have a foot to stand on when Nolan Arenado's making 32 million, that you're going to go and be like, I want 40. Like, I just don't think I don't think Machado is that much better than Nolan Arenado. That's 8 million per year. I thought those reports were way off base, and obviously they proved to be accurate because now he's making, what's it going to be, $31.8 million per year for the next 11 years. Jason, I have a big question about, locking guys up till they're 42. None of them have worked yet. Robinson Cano, Albert Pujols, none of those have worked. But if you win a World Series, then it's worth it.
If you win a World Series, and those are the guys that are riding off into the sunset of their careers with a ring or rings that everybody remembers, and there's banners flying out there in Petco because of them, that will be money well spent. And that ride off into the sunset of when that contract's finally up and the future is being prepared for, if there's a landslide down there at the ages of 38, 39, 44 between these guys, so be it. But this team has to start shaking the tree of the World Series real quick here, right? Where they got into the NLCS last year, they've got to be in a game 7 of the NLCS and or already in that World Series before game 7 of the NLCS, and really be at least this year shaking that tree to, try to bring a World Series home with what you just showed. But I love the contract. I thought it would take maybe 375 over 10. I thought at least he might want that kind of compensation.
Like 37.
And you get it under that for the extra year. And I think that it's a great contract with the other contracts that you have. Tatis is still going to be on the younger side of those guys as they age out. Darvish will be long gone by then. Maybe Musgrove re-signs and shows he's a long-term arm for longer as these contracts get later. But hey, they got a great manager. They've got a formidable clubhouse, and this is the year they got to be in there shaking that tree, whether it's a World Series win or something close to it, to feel good about going, man. Oh, man.
I think what's really exciting, if you're a Padres fan and in San Diego specifically, is that for at least the next 2 years, you can throw Soto in there as well. And the next 2 years, it's championship or bust in this city. And that's something that I don't think has ever been the case. It's literally championship or bust for this city for the next 2 seasons, at least for the next 2 seasons. Obviously, the goal is to be a perennial winner. But right now, the way your roster looks at this moment, I know it's spring training. I tuned in yesterday. They scored 18 runs yesterday. When you literally are facing Bogarts, Soto, Machado, and Tatis is going to play tomorrow, Browner. I know you were really upset about it, but like when you're going through that lineup and Nelson Cruz and Kim and Cronenworth and Grisham hit a 3-run home run yesterday.
Yeah.
If Grisham hits 230 again, this might
Oh,
be the
boy.
most unstoppable lineup ever.
Oh boy.
Because he is the biggest weakness offensively, or just because of last year. He hit 180. So when I was watching that, listen, I'm not taking the results
And
away,
that's
but when you
hey man, if
look
he
at
could just
that
hit
lineup,
230.
right? So we will jump into that. This is what we will talk about today. Plenty to get to with the Padres. And yes, Fernando Tatis is officially going to play tomorrow. He will make his spring training debut. Also, big win on Saturday for my San Diego State Aztecs. They now claim a share, at least, of the Mountain West Championship. They take on Boise tomorrow. They win that game. They officially are solo champions. What an incredible game that was. We will talk about I guess I'll let these two guys go off on the Lakers. I didn't watch yesterday. I'm still on that, but very exciting win for them. And much, much more. We are brought to you by the 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com, just minutes away from downtown San Diego. More on Manny Machado. We will hear from him, Bob Melvin, and talk about Tatis making his debut next.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
I would like to say welcome to the River Road African American Museum. What we do here at the River Road African American Museum is connect the past to the present.
Our museum was founded in 1994 by my sister Kathy Hamburg and our family to actually talk about the history along the river here in South Louisiana. We've been around for about 29 years here in the Donaldsonville and Ascension Parish area, and has become one of the premier museums for the state of Louisiana when it comes to African American history.
When you think about Black history, what we want you to understand is that this is more than Black history. This is Louisiana history.
Sponsored by The Barnes Firm. Proud to support Black History Month. Car crash? Call 1-800-8-million for a free consultation.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify, or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray-Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content, and of course check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, everybody, it's Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew. And with me right now is Rick Slider. He's the CEO of MedCline, which, by the way, is a pillow that is going to change your life. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm telling you right now. Rick, how you doing, man? Where do we find you today?
Scott, great to talk to you. I'm in sunny San Diego, a place you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I'm glad it's sunny out. I see the Padres stuff right over your head. That looks pretty cool. And some Beastie Boys. You got some cool stuff behind you.
We had a different sports team up on the wall for a while that had to be taken down, say half dozen years ago. But the Padres still flies prominently on the wall.
I love it, man. Hey, if you could, while we have this time together, can you tell everybody the backstory of MedCline and how you guys have become such a big San Diego company selling all over the world, and what the deal is with the MedCline systems?
Sure. MedCline started here in San Diego, started by a radiologist whose primary practice was at UCSD. And he was a longtime sufferer of heartburn and acid reflux. Tried everything, tried diet changes, was taking medication, proton pump inhibitors or PPIs that a lot of people take. But he was looking for a natural way to reduce his heartburn symptoms. And he found through trial and error that when he slept in an incline and when he slept on his side, his heartburn and acid reflux symptoms would dissipate. Because he's a doctor, he wanted to make sure that this just wasn't by chance. And so he set up some clinical studies using a system that he designed and patented. We got clinical trial results, found that there was a strong reduction in the esophageal acid that would take place during the night, reducing his symptoms. And with that, decided to create a product called MedCline and commercialized it a few years ago. And that is really how our company began, with his personal desire to stop his heartburn and reflux symptoms.
That's amazing. It really is amazing. Like when you have something wrong, you're like, I'm going to fix this problem. But you know what's amazing to me is that acid reflux is a problem that obviously a lot of people have. But for me, I have shoulder pain, chronic shoulder pain from the way I sleep, because I sleep with my arm over my head and then my pillow in between. So when I got my first MedCline, I didn't realize there's the reflux relief pillow, but there's the shoulder relief pillow. And it's completely changed everything for me. My shoulder pain has gone so far down because I'm no longer sleeping like this. I'm like underneath. And tell me about the shoulder pillow, please.
Sure. First of all, I'm so glad to hear that it's working for you. That's fantastic. Secondly, as we brought MedCline to the marketplace, we found that there were a number of individuals that benefited from therapeutic side sleeping beyond just those suffering from heartburn or GERD. And the primary use is for shoulder pain. And the reason I think people like you have been so comfortable with the MedCline is because of our patented arm pocket. When you try and sleep on your side and you have shoulder pain, you run the risk of your shoulder getting frozen, exacerbating pain that you might be feeling, whether it's due to rotator cuff, general shoulder soreness. And so our incline has a patented arm pocket that allows you to either rest comfortably on your elbow or to slide through, sounds like what you do, slide your arm through the system so you can stay at an elevation and sleep comfortably on your side throughout the night. And today, here in 2023, our shoulder product is actually our top seller. It surpassed those that suffer from heartburn and acid reflux, simply because there's more people with shoulder injuries across the country. And we're glad that we're able to help you out.
It's awesome. Hey, we don't have a lot of time, but in the last minute, would you just tell everybody how The MedCline products, though, have gone viral, particularly on TikTok. Just give us like a 30 or 60 seconds about what has happened.
You know, I'd love to say that I'm a marketing genius here, Scott, but really it's just about excited consumers sharing the benefits they get of MedCline. And it's amazing what happens when people finally can get a good night's sleep, how they're so excited to share that information. And recently, we've always been a part of social media, but recently we've kind of found a niche within TikTok. I didn't know that healthy sleep TikTok was a subgenre, but it really is. And with a few different posts, we've seen over just in the last 30 days, over 10 million people exposed to our MedCline products. So we're excited about the virality that this has created. I think it's in part because we have a 95% customer satisfaction rate. We know we can help people get a good night's sleep. It does take a while to adjust and sleep differently. But we're excited to see kind of the viral nature of our product grow, and we're excited to help out as many customers as possible.
It's awesome. I want to encourage everybody who's watching right now, go to medcline.com, medcline.com. Look at the different products. Know you're supporting a San Diego company. And I encourage everybody, sleep better with our friends from MedCline.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Learn about the many health benefits of MedCline pillows, from easing shoulder pain, reflux relief, and just getting a great night of sleep. Watch Your Health only on Your View, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products than someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Great friends, welcome back, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew with just the crew today. Alex Padilla, John Browner, and Jason Lawhead in with you guys for today on Monday. Very cold Monday. Scott will be back tomorrow. back to normal tomorrow. We are brought to you by Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. Go check them out. That's where I bought my car, PenskeSanDiego.com. It's a new way of buying cars, in my opinion, because they have their entire inventory online. You could see exactly what cars they have on the lot right now at all of their Penske locations. A lot of brands, a lot of options. I was on there. I picked 2 cars, told the GM at Penske, Acura of Escondido, had both cars pull up at the front, check them out, bounce with one. Super happy.
Wow.
PenskeSanDiego.com. Fellas, we were talking about the Manny Machado extension and what that means for. I think for me the big story is expectations were already sky high in the city, and now that you do this contract and you know that he's not going anywhere, because going into the season, Browner, you were asking, I think the right question is how does Manny play with this opt out looming over his head for an entire year? I think a valid question. I don't think I was too concerned about it, but you do never know if there are negotiations happening all year long, if he's distracted by whatever it is. But now that's out the window. And I think what's great about it is that not only is he here for this year, but he's here for the next decade plus. And now you really don't have to worry about your core guys for a solid 2 years. Obviously, I think everybody is, money hungry right now.
Yeah.
And they probably want Soto to be extended today. Now I think Padre fans are like eyeing Soto, like, hey, let's sign this guy too. I don't think he's gonna sign anything.
No,
Personally.
nor should he, by the way.
No.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think the Padres should sign him right now. I mean, what is the hurry? You have him for 2 more years. There's no opt-outs there. He have him under control for 2 years. You don't really know what's going to happen with Ohtani. I think that you just got to leave that door open. If they really truly are legitimately going to be in the Ohtani sweepstakes, then you can't give Soto whatever the heck he wants right now. I think there's no hurry. I think that you have this core, this group that I put up on the screen of all these players that are locked in for at least 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a championship type core. And
See, I think you gotta. I think they're gonna lock up the closer at some point, and I think they're out of the Ohtani thing. I think this took them out of it.
I don't think Hader's here for the long
Yeah,
term.
I think at least this year he's gonna be judged this year. Before they would give him anything long term.
They gave Robert Suarez a 5-year deal with opt-outs and all that stuff, but I think that Robert Suarez is probably your closer of the future here.
I'm telling you right now.
It's true with that contract.
The guy closing today will be closing at the end of the season at a high level. He was lights out last year. Robert Suarez was good
in the postseason.
Because they couldn't.
He struggled when he first got here.
Obviously he did, no doubt. When he found the rhythm, because that was the problem when he got here. They say he had lost his mojo in Milwaukee. That's why he became available. So when he found his mojo, unhittable from a closer's perspective, that's what you need. Robert Suarez proved to be able to do the job in the innings in which they put him in. Keep people where they're at.
Me personally, Browner, I'm done talking contracts. I want to talk about the baseball now because that's what really. I think. Listen, a lot of talk here has been about contracts with Tatis's contract, with Machado's opt out, with Soto's, and extending Musgrove last year was a big thing, and blah. I think that the Padres are gonna take a break on handing out $300 million right now. I genuinely don't think that's coming to anybody anytime soon. And then we'll see what happens. Now I think we just switch our attention to baseball because now you could just really focus on these guys are here. Let's go win. We talked about this last week. The Dodgers are still favorites to win the National League pennant. You got a big mountain to climb. I know you beat them in the postseason, and that matters more than winning the NL West. But now it's baseball. And what I saw this weekend, I tuned in on Friday for the first game. Pitch clock is ridiculously
awesome is the word you're looking for. It's awesome.
No.
Yes, it is.
The idea of it, sure, but it's so distracting. It's so huge right there on the screen. Like, they got to move it. It is massive. And I think I did read that during the regular season, it won't be on our televisions. But this is going to be a big ass headache for at least all of spring. We'll see what happens. They're calling it to the T right. Did you see what happened in this Boston Atlanta game? in the spring training.
But they
You
don't
guys see what
show
happened?
how the hitter gets called for it. Like, what did he do? Did he step
So
out of the box?
the batter has to be in the box with before 8 seconds on the pitch clock. And if the batter, and Manny Machado was the first one ever to get called for that,
Oh, I see what
he
you're
did not get in the box on Friday. So if you're not in the box with 8 seconds on the pitcher's clock and the pitcher's ready to go, then they will call a strike on you without a pitch.
Gotcha.
So Manny Machado, that happened to him in his first at bat on Friday. And did I have a video of him talking about that? I don't. But he was like this. He said jokingly, he said, I might be 0-1 a lot this year. So I think that's going to be a big adjustment.
I might
think
be 0-1.
what happened in this Boston Atlanta game, if this happens during a regular season game, people are going to freak
So what?
out.
So what?
Freak
people
out.
freak out.
Let me
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, let me explain if people, because I'm sure people missed it. Why would no? Who's watching an Atlanta Boston spring training game here in San Diego? So it was bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 3-2 count. Atlanta is hitting. The batter did not get in the box with 8 seconds to go. The pitcher was ready. They literally called a strike, and the game was over.
Strike 3, right?
Strike 3.
Could have run them up easily. And now what?
The game
They
was
have called strike 3. Wow!
And the game was over. And that's a walk-off strikeout without a pitch.
Look, man, I love it. People hate new rules. They hate changes. Speed the game up. I like the quickness of the game. One of my favorite pitchers is Mark Burley. Throw me the ball. Let's get busy. Let's do this. You need more of that, man. These guys taking too long to get in. These guys taking too long to pitch. This is good for baseball, man. The game needs more action. It needs more action. I love the fact that the shift is gone. We're going to have more hits, and now we're going to have more action. I'm an action guy. Entertain me. I don't want to sit around for a whole minute in between pitches, bro. I don't want to do that.
So yesterday, the Padres scored 18 runs in a spring training game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the game was still only 3 hours and 3 minutes with scoring 18 runs. It's unheard of. Unheard of. The games are going to go away quick. Concessions are going to be at an all-time low because the games are flying by. I'm going to have to get to my beer stand before the seventh inning way faster than I normally do. So, listen, Brandon, I'm not fighting you. I like it, but I just think it's going to be a major, major discussion, argument, talking point for the first good part of the season. I also bring this up too. There's a lot of players going to the World Baseball Classic. The World Baseball Classic does not have these rules. So an entire spring of guys not playing by these rules, coming back and then playing by those rules, it's going to be an adjustment period. And someone's going to lose a game in a very, very much way like that, and people are going to freak out. It's going to be crazy. But I like how fast the game went. I do like that.
If you come back to the game, you don't know the rules, that's your fault. Nobody told you to go to World Baseball Classic. You chose to do that. You did. That's on you. So when you come back to this one, and you got to be aware of the rules. It's just like FIBA. When guys go play in FIBA, the rules are different. They adjust to those rules. You come back to the NBA, these are the rules. Eat it. Like this is better for your game. It'll keep people's eyes on the game. And with this, you'll probably have a couple games in like this, which will also be awesome to watch guys flip out knowing that they know the rule.
It's awesome until it happens to your team. Jason, have you watched any spring training yet? Have you seen the flow of these games?
I haven't really, other than some clips. Like I did see that clip and, obviously some things. So I don't know where I'm at with the pitch clock. I like the idea of speeding the game up. I don't know where I'm at with the pitch clock. I don't know how I would feel about that if I was an umpire, just personally. I don't know. And, like to enforce it. Hey, you're not in the box by 8, like to enforce that right there and to end a game and to call a guy out on strike 3. I mean, I guess the good news is that maybe there'll be some more good fights at home plate like there hasn't been in a while. Some good old, arguments chest to chest with the umpires and that kind of a thing, pulling players off of them. That'll kind of fun. I guess that'll at least something modern might bring some yesteryear back with that,
Yeah.
But
I do find it pretty.
I don't know if
I
I
mean,
like
you
it.
could tell.
I don't know
You
if I
could tell
like it.
umpires have been instructed to be strict on it. You could tell
Yes,
umpires
and
have been
that's
told.
of
Yeah,
course.
because they're trying to, nail it into people's
Of
brains that this is the way it's going to be. The
of
players need to get
course.
adjusted to it now. Pitchers need to get adjusted to it now. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I really genuinely don't.
Right.
But I am concerned that this is going to cause every now and then,
But I
starting a count 0-1, like that's going to mess with people's numbers. That's players are not going to be happy about that. There's going to be a lot of rumblings about this.
I think it's good to really be strict about it in spring training, and maybe a memo went out to say, "Hey, look, guys, we're going to enforce this really, really hard in spring training. We're coming out of the gate with it hard. So in spring training, prepare for the enforcement." And hopefully, that's the thing that pushes players to actually take the onus on them and to start just playing faster as a habit. And maybe that grows as an instinct over time. And maybe over time, the pitch clock, guys can start using their judgment a little bit like, hey, this game's moving. Guys are basically respecting it. I'm not going on this one here. It's a big at bat. Yeah, he just stepped in at 7. But think, maybe it's blind to the viewer and it can just be on the ump's call because I don't know, man. I don't know if you can be like, right down to the knife every single time, every
Right.
day for the next 162 days, every year for the next so many years like that. I just don't see the benefit of that being consistently good for the long term.
I just think it's really interesting to implement a clock to a game that never has ever used a clock.
Right.
I think in NBA,
Exactly.
they live and die by the clock. In football,
Right.
they live and die by the clock. They have a play clock.
And
In the
Gary
NBA, they have a
Sheffield made a
shot
good
clock.
point. I don't know if you saw
And
Gary Sheffield's quote where he said they asked a bunch of people that don't watch baseball, what would make baseball more exciting to you? And they said, well, if the game went faster. He goes, so they changed the rules for a bunch of people that are never going to watch baseball, no matter what the rule change
yeah.
is.
I agree
That's
with you on
also
that.
true.
I think that the people complaining about length of baseball are not sitting down and watching 100 games or 162 or even 50. So it is what it is. I think the game personally, because you do have so many games, my opinion, yeah, they like a 3.5 hour game every night. That's too much. But to implement a clock on a timeless game, it changes the whole essence of the game. So it's gonna be a very interesting watch because as much as I hated a pitcher for the Rockies taking 1 minute to pitch every single pitch, that I mean, that's the essence of baseball, like the uniqueness of baseball is delivery. The uniqueness of baseball is Nomar Garcia Parra. The uniqueness of baseball is a pitcher playing mind games with a batter. And now all that stuff's going to get eliminated because everybody's on a 15-second clock every single pitch.
Exactly.
It just changes the game completely.
And when you're
No.
at a game, you can say this. I don't care. I don't care if it ruins the TV ratings. When you're at a game as a baseball fan, and when you're watching October baseball, whether your team's in it or not, or you're just intently into a great series with good teams, big names, and you're loving October baseball, you don't care how long the game is. You don't care about how much time between the rub of the ball, the guy, him stepping in, stepping out. You're watching those pitches intently when you're there. And then
Yeah.
because the games might take too long on a Tuesday night when you're watching the Nationals and the Padres and you're hoping, gosh, I wish this game would end already. Another pitching change, another commercial. I just don't think it's worth that slice of the cheese, man, to bring this rule in just because,
Yeah.
the TV game that you watch 30 times a year, 40 times a year, you go to some of the games, I don't know, man. I just don't like it.
Dude, those old school Sunday night baseball games when it was Yankees Red Sox and they would last 4.5, 5 hours because they would put in a lefty pitcher to face a lefty batter in
I
the seventh inning
know.
and then a righty pitch. Like those days are gone already because of the rule.
Right.
But I agree with you, Jason. I think that I care about a time of game on a Tuesday night in July and it's 10:30 and it's the 8th inning. You're like, dude, but yeah, in October nobody cares.
And when you're there, nobody cares.
By the time you get to October, and even when you are there, after a month, you won't even notice the difference. Because once the players adjust, the watcher will adjust. You won't even notice the difference until the rule is violated. I'm telling you. It's just like that with anything else. In any rule change, if it is not like pass interference or someone's a catch if it's not a catch, Once it's in there and it's done, like the roughing the passer, perfect example. Once it's in there, you just adjust as it goes. And the watcher
you hate it.
disagrees.
A lot of these NFL that roughing the passer, people hate. They hate it. It's a terrible rule change.
But you adjust and
Well,
you keep it moving.
it's also getting changed because now I think they're going to make those reviewable going into next year. By the way, the competition.
That's just
all
gonna
I'm
make
saying is this, Brown.
everything
All I'm saying is
worse.
this. I consider myself not a casual baseball fan. I watch a lot of baseball. I go to a lot of games.
Mhm.
I am fascinated that baseball has literally changed. And what I mean by essence is you have changed the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
You have changed your entire game by
Good.
putting a pitch clock. And I'm curious to see what it will look like when we're playing real games at the end of
Dude,
next month. That's all I'm saying.
People hated putting a runner on second base. Turned out to be great. Turned out to be exciting.
I don't know.
Who doesn't like it? Who doesn't like it? Find
Josh
me someone.
Hader.
I don't really like it.
People, closers. Yeah. I liked it because I don't need to watch 18 innings of 1-1. You know, I don't, but like I said, I am in the middle of this. I do like the changes. I'm just curious to see like what's it really going to look like when we start playing real games. It's one thing to do things in spring training. It's some things to do things at AAA to figure stuff
True.
out. But now when you're talking about a $30 million player in Manny Machado and a $40 million player in Justin Verlander, and now they're squaring off, it's not the same anymore because Verlander's got to go in 15 seconds. And
How do you
Machado's
know?
gotta
We
be in the
haven't
box
seen
in 8
it.
seconds.
You don't know. You haven't seen it yet.
I'm telling you, I watched this weekend. It's a completely different game. But this is spring training, so like when it matters, Browner, watch a game this weekend. Just do me a favor. Watch a game today and tell me that baseball is not completely different. I'm not telling you I don't like it. I'm just telling you it's completely different. It feels different. It feels rushed. It feels not as obviously not what it used to be. Like I'm just telling you, watch it and you tell me what you think. Genuinely watch it and tell me what you think.
I'm not watching till Tatis plays. So
Tatis plays tomorrow. That's where we're going next.
Then that's
Fernando
my game.
Fernando Tatis will be DHing tomorrow against the Giants. He will make his debut. And now, Brown, are we relaxed now? Are we still mad?
We'll
Are we
see.
still what's going on? Because Fernando Tatis has been arguing with Bob Melvin about letting him play. This is in the UT today. Quote from Tatis: I'm ready. I'm just checking boxes from the manager and from the team, but I'm definitely ready to be out there. It was a pretty good argument, but I mean, everybody's trying to do what is best for me. And obviously, I need to listen to my team and see the people ahead of me and see what's the best plan for everybody. Fernando Tatis, today in a backyard game against Michael Wacha, hit a double and a home run against Michael Wacha today. So there you go, Browner. Are we okay?
Wait.
So the Wacha signing wasn't good, huh?
The Wacha sucks.
The Wacha sucks. That's how you like when you got a contending team now. That's like oh great, now Wacha, what a terrible signing that was.
So you're telling me he hasn't practiced sliding back to first base? Because wasn't that the reason why he didn't play in the spring training game? Because they had to work on sliding back to first base or sliding in a second base? We know he can hit. Well, that wasn't what Bob Melvin told me why he wasn't playing. Told me he wasn't ready because they hated to see him slide into first. So don't give me statistics. I don't care. I was told he wasn't playing because he couldn't slide in the damn first base. Right, Bob?
That was one of the reasons.
Again.
One of the reasons.
Again. Don't tell me no stats of what he did against Michael Wacha in the backyard somewhere, okay? Tell me, is he sliding back to first? Is he progressing in the way that they want to see him progress?
Well, we'll see tomorrow. If he gets on base, we'll see if he slides back to first.
No,
We'll see if he slides feet first into second, if he steals a base with these new big bags that everybody's talking about.
I was told by Bob that they were working on these things. He don't need to be in a game.
Maybe they are.
This.
Maybe they have worked on them extensively over the weekend, Browner, and maybe now they're like, oh yeah, he's good to go.
Right.
As a DH, not in the outfield yet. As a DH.
Right. Good for him.
Oh, by the way, I put a poll up on our Kaplan and Crew weekly newsletter, and I asked the great friends, is Fernando Tatis Jr. not playing in the first spring training games a big deal? 88% of people said no, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
88% of great friends, Browner.
Shout out to my 12%. We out here.
So there you go.
We the minority. It don't make us wrong.
I'm very excited to see Fernando Tatis in a Padres uniform in a batter's box tomorrow. I'm very excited. I want to drive to Arizona. I want to see it in person. It's been a long
I was just thinking that the other day. I was like, man, I would love to go to like Arizona for a few days and watch some baseball, play a round of golf, maybe. God, I was just thinking that.
I was we got like a few seconds here. I was very upset when my first spring training trip ever. I thought it would be cheaper than a regular baseball game. Beers are still $13. You know, hot dogs are still $8. So
sure.
We'll get more into this Padres stuff. Tatis is back tomorrow. Everybody get excited. Machado is here for the next 11 years. Everybody get excited. Also, something I'm excited for: San Diego State winning the Mountain West on Saturday on a buzzer beater. Incredible game against New Mexico. We'll talk about that. The 7 Mile Casino Studios, Kaplan and Crew, KaplanandCrew.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
This is a huge wall. I'm sure it presented some challenges.
You're right, Sarah. And what it was in the model we noticed there was too much wood. This was supposed to be clad. And with the beautiful stairs and railings, we realized that we need to come up with a different finish. So we used these reglets that are metal with the drywall, and it gave it this grid look that also matches up with the beams.
Wow, that came out beautiful. If you want to see how they conquered more design challenges, check out Our Family, Your Home.
Sponsored by The Barnes Firm. Proud to support Black History Month. Car crash? Call 1-800-8-MILLION for a free consultation.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that, most notably those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew Tonight here on Cox Your View. Just want to tell everybody that Cox TV home base throughout Southern California, but you can get us on radio on 1090, you can get us on our YouTube channel, all the different audio podcast platforms. And I want to say thank you very much to a San Diego-based company that's selling all over the world. That's MedCline, MEDCLINE, medcline.com. They're going to change the way you sleep. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
In 2011, I lost my father to non-smokers lung cancer. Sadly, it's a disease that takes a devastating toll on thousands of families each year.
And today, us, along with a few other folks, are here to do something about that.
We're at the beautiful Wildcat Ranch for the 12th annual Frank Ramirez Breathe to Believe fundraiser, and we hope you'll join us.
Today on
Su Vida.